Good evening, everyone. This is Andre Ebron, your next event or conference speaker and the host of the Drawing Board Podcast, where we talk about family, we talk about relationships, ministry, community, and career. Tonight is such a special night. I have a unique guest with me, an awesome man who's doing great work in the community. His name is Harlan J. Bivens. Welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah,
thank
no
you for
problem.
having me and creating a space for not just me, but a bunch of other people, man. And you are an honor, to our community, especially to our youth work.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah. And so when I was reading, I have your bio, which I'll read. But when I read, it said Harlan J. It made me think about on Coming to America when they were at the barber shop, and it says, his mama named Clay? I'm gonna call him Clay. So you said right. You said your friends call you Jay. So yes, sir. So we call you Jay. That's right. And so I thought about that. It says his mama's name is Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. You gonna call that man Muhammad Ali? No. Yeah. So let's get right into it. Tonight I want to tell you about Harlan J. Bivens. Harlan J. Bivens is a public speaker, community activist, mentor, nonprofit director, licensed barber, entrepreneur, actor, model, family man, and citizen entrenched in the city of Detroit. Yeah. Harlan Bivens is a man for all seasons. His signature establishments are Jay's Fades and Better Detroit Youth Movement. Under Jay's Fades, Harlan has created a venue for young and old to improve their outlook and operation in life through outward confidence. His establishment also sets the stage for his nonprofit organization, Better Detroit Youth Movement, or BDYM. Shout them out. Yeah. Yes, sir. BDYM was founded in 2008 to create engagement with youth that will give them opportunity and lessons that will lead to a better life, a stronger community, and thus a better Detroit. Mr. Bivens is a licensed practicing barber and barbershop owner for over 8 years. He received his formal education and has a background in marketing and communications. All right, check it out, jaysfade.com. You can check his work out there. He has been trained in acting and stage work and is a student of art and interior design. I do have to say, you got a pretty funky style.
I got
a
funky style. You smell it?
I like it. I mean, I smell what I smell. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I definitely love the hats. I was like,
thank you, man.
I don't know if with a peanut head, I don't know if I could pull it off.
You could pull it off.
Could I pull it off?
Man,
listen, I get stuck between like a large and extra large in my hats when I go. Yeah. And so when I put the large on, it make that little crease across the front.
So you didn't get the memo.
What's the memo?
We customize hats.
Oh, customized hats.
Oh yeah, man. It's gonna fit you exactly. It's gonna be made just for you.
Well, listen, it's time for me to level up and get my game together. Yeah. I have to get a hat made by Jay. Yeah. So next one, he's a student of art and interior design. Harlan J. Bivens' passion for positive opportunities, growth, collaboration, and inspiring others to act is apparent in his personal interests as well as his varied bodies of work. Mr. Bivens brings his love for life and inspiring others to his educational forums, speaking engagements, acting assignments, modeling, management style, event planning, business partnerships, and the Drawing Board Podcast.
That's
Watch
right.
out.
Say that.
Yes. His rich background and personal history are invaluable to the public arena and community organizing. Below, but check it out. We're going to talk about this visionary's body of work. I got a chance to read to you some of the awesome things that he is doing. Mm-hmm. And when I think about Jay, I always think about just like uniqueness and style.
That's what you think about?
I do. And when I watch you, man, I watch you like you carve out your own space, no matter what the environment, how formal it is or anything, like you bring your whole self to that environment.
Absolutely.
And one of the things we were honored together here recently.
That's right.
Want to give a shout out to the lovely ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho.
Which my wife is a Sigma.
Okay.
You
all right.
Me?
The SG Rho.
Yes.
All right.
Say that.
Yes. The pretty poodles.
That's right.
Okay. I love it. Yeah. Especially coming from the brothers shouting them out. Yeah. And we were honored at their Spirit Awards luncheon. Mm-hmm. And we were talking. and there was some things that we wanted to have happen. There was some ice cream. Remember?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
And you said, listen, brother, it's happening right now.
That's right.
And so many times I think people get caught up in, I was talking to my wife about how the tension of what you want to happen in the future, how what your expectations are for the future, it places so much tension on your present time and maybe what it is that you're still bringing from your past. So I was like, man, listen, I don't know, brother. And you was like, oh, no, this is going to happen.
That's right.
And you said, as a matter of fact, brother, look, it is happening.
That's right.
So yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so are we going to talk about the ice cream or the whole process of the future? And what I mean, I just need to know.
You need to know
these
things.
I think,
because it was French vanilla.
Right.
No, but let's talk about it all.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so we sitting here at the table. And I think you were saying, man, I don't know if we should get ice cream right now, whatever the case may be. And I said, brother, if we being honored, I can guarantee you that they gonna bring some ice cream.
Yes, I think right. Exactly.
And I think you was thinking about getting up to go get it.
I was.
So I think what happened was, I said, brother, if we sit back and allow this to happen, because it's happening now.
Okay.
So we just negotiated an opportunity. So a young lady brought us some ice cream, and I think that you were a little like, wow, just a little bit about that, not a whole lot. But
I was, because I was like, these brothers sitting at the table, and
we was only two.
Yeah, we were only two brothers.
Right.
And I said, no,
one or two. We were only two.
I think we might have been the only brothers in the building.
No, it was one gentleman.
One gentleman
that was there, because I think you called out your.
Yeah. So do you know the interesting thing, when I called out my shout out to Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, 11906. Okay. So the power, I had to get that in. The power of that moment was, I was the only bruh in the building, as far as an alpha. And the gentleman who responded to the call, he was a gentleman who actually, he had gross special needs. Oh. So when I called out and he responded, and we were there honoring our work with the youth, and he was a younger gentleman. When he called back in that moment, man, it was so special to me.
It was. Because
he connected, whether it was my voice or whatever it is that was happening, he connected to me in that moment. Yeah. And while they were trying to quiet him down, I was like, hey, let him speak.
Yeah.
And it was very special for me. So yeah.
It was. I actually seen you, and you have a skill that most people don't know about. Andre knows how to cry out with one eye. I don't know if you guys know this. But, really, he's
listen.
Empathy,
what?
Oh wow.
Hey, wow. Listen to this guy.
Right,
listen,
right.
It's my left eye. When I do it, I can make it come down this side right here.
It's just amazing, and that's a skill most people have.
Yeah. So look. So when it happened, I guess the power for me in that moment, especially, and I've shared with the listeners, like I've always been an extensive planner. Everything has a frame. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it, and that's good to have. But sometimes it can block what's happening.
Absolutely.
Because that expectation of what it is that you've planned, sometimes you can block a better movement that's already taking place.
Yeah, it's a quote. They say unscheduled opportunities are sometimes the best opportunities to take advantage of.
Wait, spit that again. Unscheduled opportunities. Go ahead.
So they say unscheduled opportunities are oftentimes the best opportunities to take advantage of. So not to be all, extra smart or nothing like that. It's a gentleman by the name of Eric DeBono. And in 1960, you familiar with his work?
Okay, no, I'm listening.
Okay, so 1967, he coined the phrase lateral thinking. A lot of us, to get to absolute truth, we use the Socratic way of thinking, right?
Yes.
So it's arguing back and forth. You say
it's syllogistic logic structures.
You say, Jay, where are my keys? I say, man, I don't know where your keys. Did you check on the table? Man, I always look on the table. So we go back and forth to get to absolute truth. So lateral thinking really creates an opportunity for us to take a special look at what's the most effective and efficient way of getting there. He also identified these 6 thinking hats. Instead of us arguing about it, maybe we use the yellow thinking hat. And that thinking hat speaks to being optimistic about it. So let's be really optimistic about where are these keys. Could it be on top of the refrigerator?
All right. Could it be?
Could it be?
Right? Who's tall enough to put it up?
Right. I don't know.
My wife would always blame me. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Is it underneath the mat?
She could have put it there.
Right. No. Right. So it just gives us a space that we can kind of operate from. So inside of that framework, I think that it's just really intelligent to kind of look at different ways to not only to communicate, but also to be a little bit more effective and efficient on how we want to get to different places. a really quick example. It was a gentleman that came to me. I do a lot of mentoring. Of course, this young person was thinking about going to the Marines. So I asked him, I said, so just out of working curiosity, what is it that you really want to gain from, going? He was like, man, it's about the experience for me. I was like, wow, it's powerful. I was like, so how much of your time would you be given? And he was like, well, about 4 years. I said, okay. And it's about the experience, right? He said, yeah. I said, okay, great. I said, are you open to some suggestions or some thoughts? He said, yeah. I said, what if you spent roughly about 2.5 to 3 months and just interview people, right? That went to the Marines.
Okay.
And you would probably get a lot more than just your experience, right? It might be a richer perspective that you might get.
All right.
And he was like, man, I
never thought about it.
I never looked at it like that, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think it's cool, man, just to be able to kind of bring some of that that work or challenge some old ways of thinking. That's all.
Right. That's good. That's like shifting paradigms per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making sure that we have adjusting this camera here.
Oh yeah.
But making sure that there we go.
Man, just a nice little balance.
Okay. There we go. All right. So yeah, making sure that we shift paradigms and think about like what are the other possibilities.
Absolutely. And
creating them. Yeah. So that is what the drawing board is actually all about.
Mm-hmm.
The definition of the drawing board as it relates to my book and the podcast is powerful, thought-provoking testimonies that challenge the listener or the reader to look at their life and reimagine the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Because in a lot of when we develop youth, we ask them what their interests are. We think about those things that they're doing, what are they good at? And then we put them on this path to say, you must pursue this and it'll land you at this job, right?
Yeah.
And then so you lose that kind of curiosity of the journey.
Absolutely.
And I love what you said, man. Unscheduled opportunities are generally the best opportunities.
Yeah, take advantage of. Absolutely.
Right. And so there's another school of thought that talks about planning and opportunities when planning and preparation meet or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And so all of those things, the good thing that I love when talking to you is it's a balanced perspective of both. Like there's no such thing of only have, you can have your cake and you can eat it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you can have ice cream.
That's right. Vanilla.
Vanilla. So
right.
yeah, so that's great, man. I have a couple questions for you just about the work that you do and your journey toward that work.
Yeah, I got a quick question for you though.
Yes, sir.
Man, how many bow ties do you have? So I've been looking and checking your videos out.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, this brother got the bow ties. You hear me?
Oh man, listen, I have no idea how many bow ties I have, but
that's how you
listen,
know you got a lot.
Shout out to Dawson Elementary Middle School. Today, the men, it was bow tie Tuesday. So I decided today it wasn't so much about, I got on black slacks and I have on a black bow tie. So I said I was going to accent it with the shirt. So like the shirt is supposed to be the speaking piece. I don't know how much it's saying.
Yeah.
It's a nice textured shirt.
Yeah.
I like.
So today I came with 2 outfits.
Yes, sir.
So I have my sporty, getting ready to go to the gym. Oh, by the way, it might rain, so let me throw the hat on look, right?
Right.
And I also have my bow tie on too.
Okay.
See that?
Look at him. Look at him with the bow tie on.
Watch out, man.
Right. Look at him. I don't know about the purple or the yellow he got on top of that, but it looks good. It looks good.
As it was saying, is actually over in that purple yellow area.
Oh yes, the Lakers, man. Are you following the Lakers, brother?
No, I don't really follow them.
But you appreciate what he's doing for the Lakers.
I just think that the sport is just amazing.
Okay. All right.
And I love LA. How about that?
Okay, man, that sounds good.
But they don't cry that much in LA, so I don't know how LeBron gonna work there. But
yeah. You said as we digress, right? No, but when I think about it, man, walk me through your journey. Like, how did you end up deciding that you were going to be or felt called to now impact the lives of others and lead them to a better life on their journey?
Man, that's a powerful question.
All right, take me there.
That is a powerful question.
Yes, and take me there, sir.
And you are in the integrity of what it is that the drawing board is about. Okay, so here we go. So when I look at that question, right?
Okay.
We can look at it through a host of different lenses. The one that I guess resonates the most with me is I easily remember my grandfather, saying this. he would say this a lot, stand in the living room and say, I tell you,
Okay.
if you want to know where all of the little kids are at, all you got to do is take Jason and put him on the front porch, right?
All right.
So it's safe to say that people feel like, I came here as a leader, right?
Okay.
My dad, alpha male, right?
Yes, sir.
Been in the military, did some really, heroic things.
All right.
So
shouts out to dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Fathers matter. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was strongly suggested that I just was a natural leader and I came here this way. And when I got some sit down time with my uncle, he really taught me that, where we are as a people, other people have sacrificed to get us here. And everybody had a choice, man, just to kind of pour into each other. So who are you to not help somebody, right?
Absolutely.
So, I guess from my family and kind of just naturally gravitating to being, a people person and just loving that dynamic and being placed in positions and or spaces to actually see some of the social dynamics working, right? I was like, wait a second, shouts out. I'm from Macon-Bewick, the Macon-Bewick area.
All right.
So as an East Sider, I would travel sometimes to the West Side, and I would see some of the social dynamics and how, no offense to people that's from the West Side, because not all of them are like that. It seemed like they would struggle with understanding their community or their friends. I'm like, oh, this person wants this from you. This one doesn't really care about that. So I was able to kind of, look and see some of those things. And I just really believe that that's some of the things that kind of help you strive. Also, some of the principles of Jawanza Kunjufu.
I do, yes, sir. Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I talk back and forth with him on Facebook.
Okay.
But basically, some of the principles of that dynamic of being in school, wanting to be respected as a peer, but then also too wanting to get that same respect from the elders and the adults in your life. And oftentimes, that is kind of like a storm waiting to happen, because the same things that make your parents proud makes you uncool in your peer circle.
Absolutely.
And then the same things that make you cool in your peer circle make your parents say, "Hey, you need." Hey,
I didn't raise you like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I hope that was the big rush.
Yes.
It answered the question.
It did.
But yeah.
Yeah. So what I was thinking as I was listening to you, you had that investment of someone who could acknowledge what it is that you're naturally good at.
Yeah.
And then was able to allow and cultivate and nourish that gift and give you space to kind of find your way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for parents that are listening out there, I thought what was powerful in that moment.
Yeah.
Your child naturally has some giftings. Your child has some abilities that it's innate to them.
Absolutely.
And when you acknowledge them like his grandfather did, and he had the balance of your dad who had done some heroic things, who was an alpha male and had, this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And the granddad who had acknowledged, hey, this is what he's good at. If you want to know where the kids are, just put him on the porch.
That's right. Yeah.
And giving you the space to learn how to influence. So this is it. If you try to plan out and schedule your child's life, I can guarantee there will be some degree of resentment from that.
It can.
Yeah, it can.
Which is natural and good.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Because sometimes we use the analogy of the bow and arrow, right?
Okay.
So sometimes when we're rearing our children, and I don't have any kids, so y'all pray for us. Me and my wife, we really want to make this happen. Okay. So in rearing kids is symbolic to the bow. The bow. Right?
Absolutely.
So you know about this analogy, right?
Yes.
And then the arrow, right? So sometimes people forget to pull back and create that distance, and then they aim, and then they let the arrow go, right? And they run behind the arrow like, wait, no, hold on, I didn't want it to go this way. You try to blow underneath it. So this is kind of like that thought process behind actually, growing your child. And I think that, I think it's great to have some of those expectations. But parents, I hate to be the one to tell you that expectations are for you to live by, not necessarily for other people. But if we can, be in a healthy space where communication is present, and communication is present when two people feel like it's nothing in between us, right? And we can just freely speak. and self-expression is present when one person feels extremely confident and can just share whatever it is that they want to share. So sometimes parents got a lot of self-expression in the room, and the communication is not necessarily exercised. So I say that to say, you know, sometimes it's really about, you know, creating a space where communication can be present, and we can, you know, establish some opportunities where, you know, we could do something differently, and our outcomes can be different as well.
Okay, so I just, for the sake of placing tension in not the argument, but the conversation,
Let's do it.
So the old school would say, listen, children need to be, you know, told what to do, you know,
Yeah.
and this whole idea of, even within the schools, of restorative practices and sharing power, you know, and doing those types of things, it can be pretty daunting to those who don't have the proper communication skills.
Right.
So please, like, educate, like, break it down for a parent who's like, listen, I am trying this, and namely it's normally with trying to get my son or my daughter on the right path.
Right.
And I'm afraid that if I empower them to feel like they can speak their mind, you know, that they may, you know, walk over because they don't pay any bills in this house. They're gonna do what I say. Yeah. So, like, what's the skill? If you talk about
and me and you shared this at the
table.
At the table.
Right.
So we talked about language, and I love it, man. I really do, because, you know, wealth is a conversation.
Wealth is a conversation.
Just like poverty
is a conversation.
But the only question that we got to ask ourselves is, which conversation are we in? Right?
And how would we determine that?
So it's simple. Anytime you in a poverty-based conversation,
okay,
you will hear words like can't,
okay,
I'm not able,
yes,
right? And I just don't know. And it's basically the undertone to all of that is, whatever is taking place, I am a victim in it.
Okay. So that's
poverty based conversation. Right. A powerful, wealth-based conversation. Absolutely. Yes, I can. It shouldn't be an issue. Let's create something.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
So when we start to use language in that space, I believe that, man, anything is possible.
So Jay, speak to the people. Someone who has been having those conversations of poverty. We're not just talking about socioeconomic levels.
Yeah.
We're talking about poverty in relationships, poverty as in anything that will not be producing the best of what it is that you have to give. Would you agree with that? Disagree with that? Yeah. So if you're talking to someone what would you say to them in this moment to bring them, like, out of that space? Well, how would you encourage them?
Well, I'll ask them first and foremost, how has that been working for you?
Okay. So listen, listeners.
Yeah, how was that working for you?
How's it working for you?
So the thing that you've been complaining about the most, right? You just ask yourself, how well has that been working for you? 9 times out of 10, we're going to be real, right?
We should be.
So people don't like to be accountable.
That's it.
For their actions.
Right.
Right. Like to be the author of the story, right? And constantly promote information that's going to support the emotional direction we're wanting to go in.
Absolutely.
Little Johnny is bad because,
right?
Why is he? Well, he didn't listen. And if you listen sometimes, it'll start to mirror his dad, you know. And his father always like his side of the family. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I know you know.
Oh,
right?
yeah. So, I've heard about those dad jigs.
So I say that to say, you know, how well is that working for you when you making someone else wrong so you can be right?
Right. So how is that working for you?
Yeah, how is that working for you?
And so the alternative to that is, so if they say, Jay, it's not working for me at all,
I will say, great. Are you open to some other opportunities?
I like
yes
that.
Or no?
So listen, we've already figured out, we've heard it twice in Jay's conversation. When he's getting ready to lay down some truth on you, he's going to ask you, are you open to some other opportunities?
Absolutely. Because if you don't, a good buddy of mine, he's my mentor. He's a psychologist, you know, and he's also Kanye West's cousin.
Okay.
So he shares with me a lot. He said, sometimes when you're wanting to help people, you could easily be looked at as, why are you wanting to help me? Okay. And sometimes that's interrupting the patterns of help. Right. And I was like, man,
wow. What? Yeah, that's
what I said. That's what I said.
What? Yeah.
He's like, you will spend your lifetime trying to trick people into helping them. So always ask, are they open? And you will be surprised what they say.
That's good.
So now back to our regularly scheduled program. So inside of that space, then I would say, well, what's some of the things that you believe has been effective? Sometimes it's, well, I don't know.
Okay.
And then we go down this whole backstory of why, right? Well, Big Mama and them, and then, it's hard on me. And then it's always, it kind of goes back to them not having enough. That's that poverty-based conversation, being the victim.
That's
right?
it.
So, and this is the tough part. The tough part is to be in a space to identify that you are emotionally connected to the issues and the issues almost only, right?
Right. So emotionally connected to the issue.
Man. And we do so much to keep the pain in place.
I think people are afraid to release the pain.
Yeah.
Because it's familiar.
Absolutely.
And so I'd rather be with the pain I know.
Absolutely.
Than to take the risk of being hurt again by the unknown.
That's right.
All right. And I would think that's a poverty-based mentality as well.
That is.
All right.
So in that narrative, just looking at and challenging that person in that space. And if you are out there and you truly want, to create a change, I'm open to meeting with you. And definitely our organization, because we do this often. We can create some support. So this is action-based. This isn't something that we just kind of talking about, just kind of spreading it like, oh yeah, but we really want to roll our sleeves up and kind of help. So in that regard, my next phase would simply be, why don't we create an opportunity where, we get to meet, with that young person and just identify just some areas that they are most interested in. Sometimes when we complain the most, it's because somebody is kicking our tail. When John McCain was going against Obama, John McCain kept saying Obama's name.
He did.
He kept saying Obama's name.
He was probably some of the best advertising.
Man, he kept saying it, right?
Yeah.
So just like, some of y'all talking about that best friend that y'all no longer y'all best friend. Some of you all are talking about, the mother of the child or the father of the child. We only talk about people that is kicking our tail. That's it. And they own us. So in that regard, we have to kind of, take that ownership back.
Absolutely.
So just be in that space. But I don't want to.
No, I mean, that's good. I mean, I'm listening and I know
what would you do? What would you do talking to that? Yeah.
All right. So
shake the tree. This is the big tree.
All right.
Shake the big tree and get some good fruit. What would you do? How would you do it?
So my question is, and one thing I'm always
and role play.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do it.
All right.
So brother, I got a son, and man, this little boy, he's something else. So I mean, I just really need some help. What do you think would be a good start to help him?
Well, are you open to some new opportunities? See, it's action based. That means you have to take action on it immediately. No, but my question is the journey. So one thing I would say is, well, take me back to when you first started seeing some of this behavior. What was the context of it?
Well, the other day, the other day, man, he came in the house. I'm looking for the cat. He done took the cat by the tail, and he just turned the cat around. And I go downstairs and I noticed the cat. I ain't gonna say what's happening to the cat because the cat not here no more.
Okay.
But I just noticed that the other day.
Dearly departed.
Right.
No. So here's the thing. All behavior is systemic, which means what you're seeing is attached to something else that's going on inside.
Okay.
And what I think that we should do first is include him in this conversation.
Okay.
And we have to be willing, both adults in the room, to listen. And it might be some uncomfortable conversations. And I know you feel like you have a lot of skin in the game. And that's the reason why you're sitting down with me. Yeah. But I think the best thing we can do at this point to figure out what's going on is include him in the conversation and listen to what it is that he has to say. Because as long as we're talking in isolation and alone, it'll be our ideas that we're trying to get him to do a certain things. Okay. And he's clearly expressing a resistance to what it is that we want him to do.
All right, brother.
And then from that point, it would just be, it would normally, I'll tell you, in that part of the conversation, the parent would break down. Like whoever I'm discussing with, and the parent will start releasing a lot of their own issues. Yeah. And so when we start working through that issue, I was just talking to some staff about how like you can have a bias about how you think someone's already going to respond.
Yeah.
And your expectation like almost places a demand upon that person to produce that type of behavior.
Okay.
Like when you walk into an environment and you're already thinking like, oh, this is going to be negative. You know, she going to say this and that.
Yeah.
And so, like, poverty-based conversation.
Yeah.
And children are so sensitive
Man, they are.
to what it is that you're feeling, thinking. Like they know how you perceive them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you come in and you think little Johnny is bad,
Yeah.
and Johnny may have some challenging behaviors, but if you think little Johnny's bad, he's going to perform that for you
Absolutely.
every single day.
Absolutely.
It's like watching, Martin reruns.
Yeah.
It's going to be good every time you watch it
Yeah.
because you know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But when you approach them from a different perspective, it disrupts. Like I tell my students, I have come to disrupt your disruption.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's place a pause right here.
Yeah.
And I know parents and I know those of you doing youth work, like realize that children always have a choice. Everybody living, breathing, and moving, they have a choice.
Absolutely.
And whenever there's something so strong within, particularly I want to say our people,
Absolutely.
that when you try to suppress that strength,
Yeah.
like it automatically incites rebellion.
Yeah.
And so what you have to do is you deposit those truths and you go from rearing to guiding.
Absolutely.
And for all of those who are raising young men and young ladies, it's very different. I have a daughter and a son.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that conversation is very different.
Yeah.
But when they come to like that age of majority, we call it that tween age, the tweeners.
Uh-huh.
When they come to that age, like we have to learn how to that gradual release model.
Absolutely.
Where you have to let them bump their heads. And I have older sisters, younger sisters, younger brother. And the most challenging and difficult thing to do is watch somebody make a decision and it's not currently in their best interest.
Yeah.
But if you don't allow them to discover it,
that's right.
And if you try to solve every problem for
that's
them,
right. You stunt it.
You stunt their growth.
Man. Yeah.
And they have to be able to live this life without you. They got to be able to,
they're gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, they are. So they're gonna figure it out. So Jay, I want to get into a couple of things, man. I want to talk about Jay's face. Listen, if you ever want to get tightened up, get that beard game on point, or you want those fresh lineups, go ahead and throw that address out there for him, Jay.
It's 17178 Illinois, just north of 6 Mile, UD area. So again, it's 17178 Illinois, and trust and believe I'll be liking this and leaving a comment, and I'll leave some more information out there.
So this is what I want to do, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm watching all these people comment. They're coming in, on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to throw out a phone number.
Yeah.
And the very first call that comes in, I'm going to sponsor a haircut at Jay's Fades.
Wow.
So listen,
you might not know the price, y'all. So let me help you out.
Okay.
Adult haircuts are $30.
Okay. Yes, I'm still going to sponsor. I'm going to sponsor half of that. Half.
Right.
No, I'm joking. Listen, come on in.
Yeah.
And I've watched some of the videos. He personally grooms and he gets people together. But what I love about Jay's Fades and the way he articulates, I want you to listen to this. I'll read part of this again. So he talks about Jay's Face in this regard. He said he has created a venue for young and old to improve their outlook and operation in life through outward confidence.
Yeah.
I think about it, and when you look good, you feel good. Right. And when you feel good, you'll do things that are generally in your best benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just the cosmetic part, but
I understand.
We mold minds.
Oh, we mold minds.
That's right.
Listen, we're gonna have to talk about mindset development in just a second.
Oh yeah, I got a surprise for you that you don't even know about.
I don't even know about.
That's
listen,
right.
So it's coming in. So right now,
no, don't worry about it.
All right, right now, listen. I want you to call in. The phone number is 248-579-5295. Again, the phone number is 278. Right there. Check it out. 579-5295. Call in. And I'm going to sponsor your haircut, at least half of it.
That's right.
Because he said it's $30. No, I'm joking.
Right,
we're definitely going to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay, I just want to express that I appreciate he came bearing gifts today, guys. And listen, the Natural Crown call. It has a phone number on here, makeover. Beautiful person on the front. Came with some nice, just in case, I cried out of that one eye.
Yeah,
got me all the way together. And I won't see, can't open cards online. I won't show you what's in there. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Got me some Panera bread, got me together.
Oh yeah,
and listen, let me show you. I told you about the hats and the branding. You got to get it in there. Look, wait a minute. Let me hold that up. Oh, let me turn it the right way. I'm dropping stuff. Sorry about that.
Right.
All right, check it out. Look at that. Yeah, check out his branding. Got a magnet. I'll throw that on the refrigerator, definitely. Andre and Chris, your homework will be under here,
That's
scheduling
right. That's
all
right.
of that.
Say that.
Making sure we checking in on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
and those drawings too, because don't let your parents throw all your drawings away.
Oh yeah, hold on to your drawings.
They'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. My son is drawing something the other day, and so I believe this, man. I want to speak on the air. It's going to go international. My son and daughter will have this to listen to when they get older. So my daughter plays the violin, and man, she's great at it.
It's a music school right next door.
Yeah,
I will sponsor. Let's do it.
Let's do it. She's great at it, man.
Yeah.
She just there were divisions as far as how they perform, and she had been practicing the level 2, but when she went to audition for the part, she ended up getting level 1.
Wow!
And so the teacher said, "Listen,
level 1 meaning
the best, yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
They doing some different. Things
yeah, sometimes
now.
2 is yeah. So listen, level 1, she got level 1. So I'm proud of her. And then my son, he plays for the East Side Tiger Cats, number 72. Let's go. He was out there knocking some heads on Saturday. Shout out to all the coaches in the East Side Tiger Cats division, ESL. Proud of you guys. Happy for you. But he is a creative, okay?
Yeah.
And my daughter is more analytical.
Okay.
And watch how this balance happened. It is crazy the way, man, God bless me.
Yeah.
So my son is his personality is like me.
Okay.
But he thinks and operates more like his mom.
Okay.
All right. So he's more sensitive and those things like that. And my daughter.
But you cried when
listen, man. I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Hold on, man. No, listen. And then my daughter is very analytical.
Okay.
Like she's very focused, very driven, just very like organized and plans, which is a lot like me, but her personality is like her mom.
Okay.
So of course I'm verbose and just very engaging, out there, people person, all that. My wife has a big personality too, but she's more reserved and more quiet at times. At times.
Oh, yeah. If she's
at
wife,
times.
she
Yeah.
talks.
Right. So I'm telling you, brother. And I thought, man, that was an interesting blend.
Yeah.
So I had to shift my dynamics.
Okay.
And how I interacted with my children.
Right.
And realizing that I shared it last week. And my son, he was doing something goofy in the car, man.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. And he was just like, man, I'm just being me.
He said, I'm just being.
It's all right.
Can I be?
It's all right for me to be me.
You mad or no?
Right.
Which one?
Big man, little man.
Right. Yeah. So,
right.
So this is for parents. Like, I understand the taxing and everything that you are trying to provide for your kids. But what's interesting about it is most of the times all they want is you. That's it. The time, the attention, the affirmation, the love, all of that.
We be pushing, and you know how that go. We be pushing our thoughts, and you're gonna be, trust me,
Right.
They don't.
And wherever love is, children will flourish.
That's it, man.
People will flourish. All right. Have we had any calls come in yet? No calls come in.
So this is one of the things I know me and you talked about. So you shared with me that you were working on a plan, right? And you really wanted to create an opportunity.
Yes.
In a host of different areas.
Yes.
And strategize how you move your life forward.
That's right.
So that was a private conversation.
It was.
So
I
want to use this as an opportunity.
Let's talk about it.
For people to join that team to support you.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And push that needle forward. So I know of a few people, and I know you posted something.
Okay.
I'll be willing to pay for a gentleman. His name is Jerome Espy.
Okay.
Jerome Espy, an amazing individual. Used to work in media for a very long time.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know you were looking for like some voice coaches.
Yeah, some voice coaches. Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy is dynamic in regards to the whole media component. We use him often to help with our young people. So I'm going to tag him into this.
Okay.
And then I'm going to let him know the bill on me.
All right, let's go. Listen, you heard him, the bill on him. It's going down, man. Listen, I actually love to sing. I do. I'm not going to do it on here. So
you do got a first 48 type of look. about yourself.
Right.
Like sing. That was an urban joke.
Yeah, urban joke. Right. So listen, man, I enjoy it, but I just don't know. You know how it's one of those things. I love to sing, but you may not love to hear me sing.
Right,
you know,
right.
So it's one of those things. But I will sing anyways.
You will.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing.
You hit a note. Right now?
I mean, I don't know if I should hit a note right now.
I mean, if we're about being in action.
If we're about being in action, you know what? Yeah. I'm joking. It is not happening on this.
Are you serious?
Right. So listen.
So this is it, guys. If someone loves to do something,
yes,
right, and you create an opportunity for them to do it, and they back out of it,
yes,
you got to really ask yourself: are you self-sabotaging yourself?
Self-sabotaging?
Is that a poverty-based conversation,
or are you sparing the ears?
Why?
Of all of the
listeners? It's about your true love and your true expression.
You know, I agree with that.
I think you should just go ahead and bless them because you never know.
Should I go ahead and bless them?
You could. I think it'd be a great opportunity. Just to hit just a little something.
To hit a little something.
Yeah, and I'll support you with a ooh or something.
Okay. It's not unusual. No, I'm joking.
Oh, he did it. Oh, you heard it. Y'all heard
it. I'm playing. You know, that was a joke. Yeah, listen. Do the Carlton.
Right.
No, I'm joking. But yeah, so back at the ranch. That's right. Yes, back at the ranch.
Actually, we have horses. You want to ride?
I do.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Absolutely. So listen, you hear all of these things, all these awesome opportunities that Jay has. Let's take a look at this brother right here.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today?
All right.
See a couple people waving.
I see
y'all. Yeah. A lot of people joined the conversation.
They did, yeah. And it's going down. Listen, ask whatever questions you may have. We're still waiting for you to call in.
Yeah. Because
it's opportunities waiting. Just like I didn't take,
yeah.
Wait
a
minute.
we do something. It's called the why. It's a question and answer form.
Okay.
And it's relationship based, so it fits inside the integrity of what we're doing.
Okay.
I have a question for ladies. Ladies. Why when asked what's wrong, you say nothing and look out the passenger window? And then later on that night, you get on the phone and tell your girlfriends everything.
Listen, my wife has the passenger side window ministry sometimes too.
Ooh. Why do they do that?
You know,
I don't think you.
I don't think I'm capable of
could answer that.
Yeah, ladies, tune in.
Yeah, I think a lady could answer that question.
Why do you have a passenger side? Oh, my wife was telling me not to sing. A passenger side window ministry.
Yeah. Why do you sit back and
Why do you sit back and look out the window?
The brother is asking you. So what's going on? What's
going on? 248-579-5295. Call in. Right. Why do you say nothing?
Oh, but what if they calling?
Yeah, we got to put the headphones on.
To see, right?
All right.
Yeah. Yep. And then we have something for you fellas out there.
Yeah. So, ladies, Shalisa, my wife, I'm calling her out. Call in, baby. Why do you passenger side window ministry?
Okay.
Right.
So listen. While we're waiting on that caller.
Okay.
Fellas. Why is it less likely that you'll stand by your mate's side if she has cheated?
Oh, wow.
Right? Case in point.
Shaquille
O'Neal. He's been known to have many affairs, right?
That's true.
Soon as his wife gets caught cheating, game over. That's it. So a fellow would have to answer that. I'm not gonna put the pressure on.
Yeah, we're going to reach out to the callers for that.
Not gonna do that.
We're going to reach out to the callers for that.
Right.
So
this is a question and answer form. It was designed to curb salon gossip. It's called the Why, based on some African principles, and I think that it's really powerful. The Why is a question and answer form that kind of helps us to eradicate some of the psychological barriers that we carry on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, sir.
And that we're not aware that we're operating inside of that. So, sometimes we can have our aha moments inside of these working groups. And it's just, some structure-based conversation.
Okay, I like that.
Boom,
bada bing. So, yeah, I mean, while we're waiting on these calls, man, listen, I have had these conversations with many brothers.
Yeah?
I have.
How do we go?
I've talked to them. I said, hey, man, listen, do you think, as they're preparing for marriage, like, do you really mean that? Like, for better or worse, sickness and health, death do you part. So what if there is some infidelity? Like, is it really over for you? Oh yeah, bro. I don't think I can do it, bro. I don't think I could.
So I think this is what I think. I'm gonna kind of shoot my shot at this one.
Okay, shoot.
So I think that women are extremely powerful when it comes to the emotional side of life,
Okay.
i.e., emotional intelligence, right?
Yes.
So I believe when males have to be emotionally accountable and not, we tend to not want to exercise that component, right?
Okay.
So we just out. So logically, nope, we gotta go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I really think that's that's the why. Really interesting stuff, man. We've held these whys over in Livonia.
Okay.
It was a group called Plaid, the people of Livonia addressing issues of diversity, and some really amazing stuff happened there. Over at Artist Village, we've hosted the Y, and it was for cognac and conversation. Really powerful stuff. I could remember this just like it was the other day. We're sitting up there and we're talking about women,
Okay.
and like, why do women nag so much? And this blah blah. Man, his brother Suleiman, he stepped up, kind of tall, light skinned brother, stepped up. He was like, well, I think I have the answer to this. So I'm sitting there, moderating. I'm like, all right, cool. So what do you say? So we give him the mic. He says, well, women have a tendency to nag or to irritate males, so that weakness does not come in their offspring. I dropped my mouth like, brother, what?
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking the same thing as if
like what?
Where's that coming from?
Right. So he took it, really deep. So anyway, I say that to say, man, so the whys can be extremely powerful inside that working dynamic, man. Just really kind of putting the conversation back. We do so much through social media and things of that nature. Yeah.
Okay, great. So listen, man, I remember the first time that we actually met. Do you remember?
Absolutely.
Okay,
we was in the gym. You was scared to touch the basketball.
Oh,
you was scared to touch. But we was doing that stuff.
Yeah, it was.
That's right.
Yeah, it was going down, man. It was
Don
Bosco Hall. Yeah. It was a great event. I was there. Actually, man, do you know I was there as what was I doing at that time? I was the director of admissions for Cornerstone Schools.
Yeah.
So I had my table set up. I was ready to go. We were connecting. Great to see all the youth. And then I see this guy, man, running around the gym, doing the dance, hitting all the moves, greeting all the people, And I said, man, let me connect with this guy. And so when we connected, man, it was great, man. The energy was live. The integrity was live. Just the being genuine.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a word that's thrown around a lot, but I want you to know the spirit in which I'm saying is just very authentic.
Right.
Like talking to Jay now is going to be the same thing. Excuse me.
He just dabbed.
Yeah,
too.
I dabbed. I'm like, hey, look. And talking to Jay when we come off the air, and talking to Jay at the table when we're being honored.
That's right, yeah.
We're having these conversations in the midst of an award ceremony.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that's really great for everybody to know that we have to start having these conversations offline, and I think they are taking place.
Yeah.
But the difference, and I told you this before, unique difference that I see in you when we talk is that there's always an actionable item beyond the conversation.
Yeah, so we be accountable.
Absolutely. So my mentor, Dr. Carolee Dixon, always says that particularly.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah,
coffee or something.
Yeah, let's do it. Particularly says that in any relationship, you must be accountable, you must be available, and you must be responsible.
Absolutely.
And those three components, you can start looking at the quality or the fabric of a relationship to see what's really there.
Absolutely.
And what I find out is people become available for things that are important to them. Like I appreciate you, coming out and supporting tonight.
Absolutely.
People, will allow themselves and stand in the place of accountability of things that they want to see grow.
Absolutely.
And then when it comes to their contribution to seeing it grow, they're willing to exchange in some reciprocity and being responsible for their portion of that particular relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I also see here, and I want to announce here in the time we have left, I see you. It's the second annual Sustainable Detroit Forum showcasing our healthy, high-performance city. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity for us to, talk about, what is sustainable? What is our most precious resource?
Okay.
That's the framework, right? So you have a lot of people that's going to be talking about food, about energy.
Okay.
And the new way and different platforms that we can operate in. And I think all those things are amazing and they're great, but I think that they're missing the most precious opportunity is our youth.
Our youth.
Right. Because this is like your phone wouldn't be good if you couldn't charge it.
That's true.
If you didn't have a battery, really, how far could you really go? Right.
Okay.
So I think that, that framework is where we'll be talking about. And, this is an amazing opportunity. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be some lightning rounds. You get to hear a lot of different stakeholders in the community. I know Maliki Keeney is going to be there. One of the speakers actually got an award in his name, which is an honor. So it's some really powerful stuff, taking place there.
Okay, great. So that is October 24th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is going to be at the Student Center on Wayne State University's campus. And you should be a part of this dialogue on strategy to push Detroit towards a more sustainable future. And you heard it out of Jay's mouth today. The most sustainable resource inside of the city of Detroit is our youth.
Yeah.
If they want to partner with you or get in touch with you, Jay, how can they get in touch with you?
So you can always, speak directly to my assistant. Her name is Miss Watson. It's area code 313-460-6638. You can also look at our website, www.betterdetroityouth.org. We have a lot of great work there as well. You can also check out some videos and stuff like that. And you can, join us. You can, meet some of my other co-directors, meet some volunteers, and let's develop a plan to impact and change many lives.
Okay, that's great. And Jay, I have one final question, and it's a heavy one. It's a heavy question. It's heavy. I mean, it's like 2 ton, 10 pounds heavy. Just do it. Heavy. So Jay, if I were to bring some youth to you.
Yeah, I want to mentor some people too.
Mentor some people. So the mentoring opportunity is here.
Right. So I'm going to make that happen after the question.
Okay, great. So if I were to come and follow your movement, the Better Detroit Youth Movement, where are you leading me?
So that's an awesome question. All right.
Right.
Because I'm leading you to the space that you've run from majority of your life, which is you.
Oh, wow.
It's that simple, champ.
Wow.
So it's create some opportunities.
Okay.
We're going to ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Right. And we're going to start to develop that plan. So we have a program called MAPS, that stands for Multiple Alternative Pathways to Success. We allow young people to go and grow in areas that they see fit. We work with concerned citizens, teachers, young people as well, inside of this process. So say, for example, you say, I have interest in criminal justice.
Yes.
I say, okay, great. You might want to join us at some of the ALLPAC meetings. So ALLPAC is an acronym, and it stands for, in rough, Community and Police Trust. So it's people, with the FBI, Homeland Security, the U.S. Attorney Office, things of that nature, right? And you also have your other civic engagement, peace and community members. We'll have a young person come and support and just kind of learn and see, what it's like to be inside of these different spaces to communicate, what law looks like through their lens. Say, for example, it's media. I want to do something with media. So, we look at supporting them in those areas as well. So on the professional side of things, our organization is the Better Detroit Youth Movement, a nonprofit organization comprised of positive-minded individuals whom are committed with working with students, parents, schools, and other service providers to uplift the quality of life and learning for our city and its children.
Yes.
And roughly solution providers. We've given out roughly about $100 million in scholarship funds.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
We've had young people to write into the Charter Commission through Reggie Reg Davis and some of our great work, William Pointer. We've saved robotics programs. We've done mayoral debates. We've even done Live in Peace art parties, promote living in peace instead of rest in peace.
Yes.
So we have a really extensive body of work. We like to have these one-on-one dialogues just to come to enlightened perspectives to see how we can impact and create some more opportunities for young people. It's just that simple.
Oh, great. So you were talking about mentoring opportunities.
Yep. So I want to take roughly about 5 people that might be interested in moving this needle forward. So I want to open myself up to take on 5 people. To mentor. And what that looks like, it will be over the course of 12 weeks. So if you are interested in getting some one-on-one assistance, did I say assistance? Because sometimes people have a thought that I'm going to do all of those things that they want to do.
All right.
So assistance. So they will call my assistant. So the number is 313-460-6638. And you ask to speak to Ms. Watson. You will schedule a time for us to sit down and meet, and then we will go over that mentoring process. So we have had young ladies, young men, and I've also mentored older people that want to start business. So, we have a host of different resources and just want to create that clear plan.
All right, great. Well, we appreciate you offering that opportunity.
Yeah.
We have about 5 minutes left.
Oh, we should. What can we do in 5 minutes?
You know what? Let's see. All right, let's play this quick game. I'll throw out a first word. You give me your first thought. All right.
I got to rap or just.
You got to rap?
I don't know.
Go ahead. You can spit it. I don't
know. What y'all want? What y'all want? Okay.
So I'll throw out a word. You give me your first thought to it. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Ice cream.
Ice cream, the opportunity to taste.
All right. Listen. Joy.
J.
All right. Fresh.
Amazing.
Cool. Let's see this. The drawing board.
The opportunity to create.
Oh, that's great. Listen.
It is, man.
So the drawing board, an opportunity to create. Make sure you create.
That's right.
And let me say this. Jay's fades.
That is a good one. Purple.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say purple.
Purple. All right, I can do that. Royalty, majesty,
elegance.
Yeah. I think that about sums it up. That about sums it up.
So I got a couple questions for you since we got about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So the impact that you want to create with the podcast,
yes.
What does that kind of look like?
So this is really, we're piloting 12 shows.
Yeah.
And in January, we're going to have what's called the Drawing Board Summit.
Sweet.
And so the Drawing Board Summit is going to be for those who want to start and then for those who want to start again. Okay. Because it's all about looking at your life and pursuing that thing that looks like it's possible, but there's all of those things that say that it can't be. Yeah. And I want to connect people to resources to help move that needle forward for them.
Sweet. Are you operating from core values?
Well, it's really about poise, professionalism, optimal service, integrity, service, or solution, or core values. Absolutely. So those are the core values of Ebron and Associates. And again, I always say.
So you adopt them for the podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want uniformity and we want continuity across our brand. So Ebron and Associates is broken down into 3 components. For Gravity, the Power of Decision was a mentoring program that I have. It's kind of in the hiatus now. Just because I'm investing some more time in the household. Kids are at a certain age. We also have the Drawing Board, or Andre Ebron, the speaker, where I go out and I speak across the nation, and I can, speak from the nonprofit base. I go into schools, help them with like restorative practices and getting their culture on point. And then I also can, of course, I'm a minister, so I go into churches, and the foundation of all my belief has to do with the fact that we're there to help encourage people to find truth.
Absolutely.
And then lastly, we get into the author perspective. So, writing and getting some product to go along with the brand. And eventually I'm going to work with Jesse Cole to help get a curriculum online for people to actually unearth their potential by, as Ilyana would say, doing their work.
That's right. Sounds amazing.
So I appreciate it. Listen. We are closing out here with Harlan J. Bivens from Better Detroit Youth Movement, Jay's Face, and all of the above. That offer still stands for those who, if you want to get fresh, I will sponsor. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sponsor the first person to sit in your chair tomorrow.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going down. So listen, the first person that sits in his chair tomorrow, your haircut is on me. Sweet. I'm going to get my vocal lessons, of course. It's going down. Let my wife, let my kids know, let my church know. Jerome Espy. Listen, man, I'm looking forward to hearing it so I can come back on the podcast, rip the mic, and go ahead and lay these vocals down.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you need from the people?
Yeah.
For your program.
For the program. Listen, I want you all to get, if you're watching right now, I want you to get 3 people to watch next week this time. I want you commenting, calling in. Tonight was the first time that we tried to call in.
Yeah.
Wanted to give you all a heads up about those things. And then also what I need you to do is get ready to go to your churches, your local organizations. If you need somebody to come and set your event on fire,
yes,
I'm talking about an MC, a speaker. Make sure you reach out to either myself, Andre Ebron, or Harlan J. Bivens. Make sure that you reach out. We are here to not just come and improve, but we want to make a great impact, okay?
Absolutely.
So listen, we're closing out the Drawing Board Podcast, Harlan J. Bivens, where we talked about family, relationship, ministry, community, and career. So much more. And we'll talk to you soon. Signing off.
Love you
Andre
guys.
Ebron. Love you. Okay. I guess I'll throw it up too. There we go. Bam. Just the love.
Love.
Peace.
Okay, mics are off. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. No callers, but
Sweet.
get the word out, you know.